All right. Welcome, everyone. My name is Darcy Becker. I am the program manager for the Edmonds School District Family Pre-K program. And tonight we're going to talk a little bit about, we're going to start with our land acknowledgement. We're going to talk a little bit about our Family Pre-K program and talk about the bulk of our time will be spent talking about COVID-19 health and safety information, protocols, and answering questions you might have. So first off, our land acknowledgement. We acknowledge the original inhabitants of this place, the Snohomish people, and the successors, the Tulalip tribes, who since time immemorial have taken care of, hunted, fished, and gathered on these lands. We respect their sovereignty, their right to self-determination, and we honor their sacred spiritual connection with the land and water. By acknowledging these homelands, we commit to working with tribal nations to further the education aims they have identified in our classrooms and schools. So first off, I want to tell you a little bit about me. I'm the administrator of the Family Pre-K program, or the manager of the Family Pre-K program. My name is Darcy Becker. And I love adventure. I love adventures, especially in the outdoors. And this picture here is a picture of myself and my husband out hiking. We've been married for 40 years, although I'm only 42 years old. We've been married for 40 years. He is retired Air Force, so we spent 20 years in the military, in the Air Force specifically. We have 2 daughters, and our 2 daughters between them have 3 sons. So this is a picture of our children. This is a few years old now, and they're much larger than they are in this picture. Our oldest grandson is now 16 and learning to drive. Our middle grandson is 13, and we have a 10-year-old grandson. And so they are our entertainment. They take up our weekends with sports and all kinds of fun activities. And so we love to hang out with them. We camp, we boat, we like to crab. This is actually me learning to hang glide. We have friends that my husband went to high school with, who lives down along the Oregon coast, and he is a hang gliding instructor. And so we actually went down, and this is me learning how to take off on the beach. And I have a motorcycle and love to ride my motorcycle. So this is me on my touring bike. I also have a dirt bike, but this is me on my touring bike, and those are things that we love to do, and we enjoy those kinds of adventures. The first day of school for Family Pre-K will happen the week of October 4th, and depending upon your location, you have different days scheduled of the week. Remember, Family Pre-K is 2 days a week. 2 hours at a time, 2 hours each session. And the district website is the best place to find the current schedule for Family Pre-K. Also, we have made a decision at this time for the start of the school year to go 100% remote for our family preschool, our Family Pre-K program. And the reason for that is because, as you know, every child comes to the program with an adult or with a caregiver. So that means if we have 10 children in the program, we have 10 children. We have the pre-K facilitator, their teacher, and then we also have at least 10 parents, 10 adults that are also in that same space. And many of our spaces are quite small, and that is just too many humans in a small amount of space for the amount of transmissibility that we have in our community right now. So for the start of the school year and then until further notice, we will be serving our family pre-K students remote. Teacher information, as you may know or may not know, Chase Lake, Linwood, and Oak Heights teacher for those 3 sites is Pam Gerke. She is in this meeting tonight. And the teacher for Spruce is Tawny Richard. Tawny is also in this meeting tonight. And then Meadowdale, Lindale, and Terrace Park, the teacher for those sites is Talia Spear. So we have 3 different facilitators who serve 8 different locations. Meadowdale has an AM and a PM session. For health and safety protocols, well, let me just say, I did not put any pictures of family pre-K because at this time, our family pre-K staff are not working yet. They're not on contract yet. So their classrooms are not set up and ready to go yet. So I didn't include any photos of the classrooms for family pre-K. And perhaps at a later date, we'll be able to produce a little video that our teachers make available to you that show you kind of around the room what the room would look like if the children were actually attending in person. For our health and safety for COVID-19, we do require masks inside and outside while on campus by all adults and children. We maintain physical distancing. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And we ask our families to conduct a COVID-19 symptom check each day before coming to our campuses. And just really encourage our families to keep your children home when they're feeling sick. That's the best, those are the most important ways that we can combat COVID-19, the spread of COVID-19 within our communities. There is on the district website, there is a COVID-19 handbook. On the main page of our district handbook, there's several different ways you can access that. And so the COVID-19 handbook is there for your review if you'd like to see it. We do keep it updated all the time because the Department of Health or the CDC or Snohomish County Health Department can change that guidance several times during the year. And so we keep that document up to date. Daily health checks, as I said, are very important. We are not requiring that families do what we did in the spring, which was called an attestation. It was a daily digital form that you needed to fill out that said your child is symptom-free, doesn't have a fever, those kinds of things. We're not requiring that this year. We are relying on the honor system that our families will check their child's symptoms and health each day, and will remain home if they are not feeling well. And our staff is expected to do the same before they come to work, before they arrive on campus. COVID symptoms, many of us, we've heard these things quite frequently by now: fever, cough, shortness of breath, unusual fatigue, body aches, headaches, especially headache that is new, it's not something that you typically deal with, sore throat, the sudden loss of taste or smell, congestion, even gastrointestinal symptoms can be COVID-19 symptoms, which includes pretty much any kind of thing that you could be feeling poorly in the morning, anytime that you might be feeling poorly coming to school in the morning. So that's important to think about. For all of our students, if we in family pre-K are able to enter in-person learning, maybe it might be in hybrid or it might be in fully in person. that when that happens and our children and families are able to access in-person services of some kind, we will have a plan in place, or we do have a plan in place for students who need to quarantine or isolate because of potential COVID exposure, or COVID within the home, or contact tracing that requires, we need to have your student be dismissed from school today. So if those things happen, we will continue our learning through other systems. It could be a packet of schoolwork. It could be through Seesaw, which is what we use for our young children in the Edmonds School District. But we will be able to provide more information about that as that need arises, and especially since family pre-K is going to start out remote, you will become very familiar with what that remote instruction looks like. We do have the ability in the Edmonds School District, thanks to our taxpayers and our voters, we have the ability to provide district Chromebooks pre-K through 12th grade. So your preschooler, one of the first tasks will be to issue them a district Chromebook and to get you knowledgeable about how to log in on that Chromebook and how to access Seesaw, which is how we assign activities and how we meet with children. It's also how we communicate back and forth, or a way that we can communicate back and forth. So your child, I know this screen says that your child will bring their Chromebook home each day. For our pre-K students, if they are in person or when they are in person, they will leave their Chromebook at home. So when they are at home, their Chromebook will be at home available for them, but we don't want our preschool students to carry a Chromebook back and forth to school. For our kindergarten students and above, they do use their Chromebook at school, but for our pre-K students, they won't use them at school, so it should stay home. We have a lot of cleaning protocols around how we clean things, how we disinfect or sanitize certain surfaces or equipment. And we use disinfectants and sanitizers that are approved for school use, that are effective at combating or disabling or destroying COVID-19, and can be on surfaces that children touch and humans touch. We have extra cleaning in certain areas or high touch areas, things like doorknobs, light switches, those kinds of things that lots of people touch. We do have cleaning protocols in place for those. And any areas where aerosols might be generated, like in the health room, children who are not feeling well may be sitting in the health room and coughing and sneezing. And so we have heightened cleaning protocols, or anytime body fluids are, anytime we are managing body fluids. So in bathrooms, some of our students in some of our programs may need support in the bathroom, or may need to be changed, may need some diaper changing routines. And so we do maintain a higher standard of cleaning in those cases. Our HVAC system in our district have been improved and optimized to maximize the amount of fresh air coming in and the turnover of the air in the classroom. Also, our air filtering systems have been upgraded, and those filters are changed regularly. Hand hygiene is very important for all children, especially young children who may be touching their face mask often, or actually the children, when they're wearing face masks, they tend to be doing less, putting their fingers in their mouths, those types of things. But they will touch the front of their face mask. And so teaching them appropriate ways to wash their hands is very important. There's a link to a video. It is available on our school district, Edmonds School District YouTube channel. It's only about a minute long. Would you like to watch it? Would you like to watch this little video? Let me see, I think I can show it to you. Sorry, got a little streaming issue going on here. And I'm in a district building. I'm in my office, so you would think that we would be able to do that a little bit more effectively. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this, but it basically is, this is a video of a young child teaching young children how to wash their hands. So it's a young child's voice, and the young child is modeling how to wash the hands and make bubbles with their soap. We also have a video on our webpage that demonstrates how to properly wear a mask. So one of the things I just, if you hear that the video starts suddenly, I forgot to exit out of that, so hopefully it doesn't, but it may. This video is about 2 minutes long, 2.5 minutes long, and it is also a child teaching children how to don or put on a mask and how to doff or take off a mask. It shows them to put it up behind their ears, to, if it has a nose piece, how to pinch that so that it is tight on their nose and can stay better. And it shows them how to take it off, and talks with them about not touching the exterior surface of their mask. So it's very cute, and it has a young kid's voice, and I always think young kids' voices are really cute. So it is also on the district's YouTube channel. There is limited access, which is one of the reasons why we are not going to be serving our family pre-K students in person for the start of this school year until our rate of infection in our community is decreased, because of a number of adults that would be in that learning space. So our campuses are closed to non-school individuals at this point. Only students and district staff are allowed on campus.
One way to stop the spread of germs is to wash your hands.
See? Isn't that cute?
The first thing you would do is wash your hands. Let's talk about the best way to wash your hands. Step 1. Use warm water and soap. Rub your hands really well and make lots of bubbles. Step 2. Wash for 20 seconds. That's like...
I love it. 20 seconds. I love that. Love little kid voices. They're the best. All right. As I was saying, our campuses are closed at this time, not open to non-school individuals. And this includes family and community volunteers. We just are not comfortable at this point introducing more members of the community to our school campuses. Our main school offices are open to family members, or to family members who have need or urgent business with the school. We ask that you remember that while you are on school campus, whether inside or outside, you need to wear a mask and comply with that. as well as to be as efficient as you can about conducting your business so that we're able to keep the environment as cohorted or as isolated as possible to maintain just the health of all of our staff. COVID-19 vaccine, as you know, or you may know, school district staff, school district employees are required to be vaccinated soon and to be able to document that vaccination status. The vaccine is also available for people, for students who are 12 years and older. We're hopeful that perhaps in the winter, late fall, winter, spring, we would have a vaccine available for children who are 5 to 12 years old. We are not likely to have a vaccine for our preschoolers soon. So it is very important. It is very important for you to learn more about the vaccine and to make your decisions based upon the science of our vaccinations that are available right now in our country, and book an appointment to receive your COVID vaccine as soon as possible. This is obviously up to each individual, but we just really encourage our community to make those decisions so that our kids can stay in school. And we feel very grateful that we didn't have any loss of life or things like that in our school district due to COVID-19 within our student population this year. So we're very grateful about that, but we really want our community to support our ability to stay functioning, stay open, and stay available for our kids. We do have, let me see, did I skip? Nope, I skipped right. We do have COVID-19 testing available. So if we have staff or students who have COVID symptoms, we do have the capacity in every school to conduct a COVID-19 test. And we have trained people in each building to be able to help that testing procedure. We do not require any family members have their child tested, but it can reduce the amount of time that they need to be quarantined if they come back with a non-COVID test or a negative test. Along with masking, testing is a key mitigation strategy. So the earlier you can determine whether it's something is COVID, the earlier you're able to mitigate the contact exposures. So, and again, that is available in all of our schools. One of the things that I think is important for the parents of young children is to learn how to use the Skyward system. So Skyward is our student information system that we use in the Edmonds School District. And as your child progresses on through the years of schooling, there will be access to information there that you want, like their high school schedule, their grades. So when they're in kindergarten, they'll receive a report card, and you'll be able to access their grades through Skyward. You'll be able to check their attendance information. You'll be able to update your family contact information. You'll be able to find bus route information through Skyward. So that is very helpful and very important for you to understand how to use that system. And it's kind of our job is the first people that you might interact with in the school district to help you learn that system. We are hiring. So Edmonds School District, like a lot of school districts, are looking for especially food service workers and bus drivers. So if you are interested in applying for a job in the Edmonds School District, we really encourage you to do that. We need food service workers and bus drivers desperately. So there are also many other jobs available in the school district, grounds and maintenance jobs, paraprofessional jobs where you would work with groups of kids in the schools or supervise them at recess, or there's health assistant jobs that are open. There's just a lot of different ways that you might be interested in working for the Edmonds School District. So I just encourage you to go to the Edmonds School District website and to look at the available jobs there if you are so inclined. So questions in the chat. You can type your question, but this is a small meeting, so it probably is just as easy if you raise your hand or you unmute your microphone so that you can just ask your question. I'm going to stop share so we can see each other a little bit better. Anybody have questions?
Hello.
Hello.
This is Leo Galvez and Alicia Galvez here. We do have
Hi.
a question. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great.
We missed the first part. So the school, so the program is going to be online, correct?
Yes, we're starting out remote, and family pre-K always starts the first full week in October.
Okay.
Got it. First full week in October. And another quick question is, so you talked about a Chromebook, so we have to pick it up at some point.
Yep,
in
and
September, this month.
Our facilitators, our pre-K teachers, our family pre-K facilitators, they worked with this system last school year. So I think they learned how to make these things happen. And so there's a variety of different ways you can pick it up directly from the school district Educational Services Center, which is the district office. You can pick it up directly there. We can also distribute at your site if you need that. But typically we would distribute through the tech department at the Educational Services Center.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? I see some friendly pictures, but I'm happy to answer any questions. I like Michael's smile. It makes me feel comfortable. Any other questions? Well, if we don't have questions, then we can call it an evening.
Sorry, I do have one question.
Okay, please.
My question was, will we be getting any more email updates in regard closer to October in regards to starting up, or?
Yep. That's a great question. The week before class starts, our facilitators come back to work. And typically in past years, they were setting up their classroom. And because we're going to be remote this year, they will be contacting you. So they typically do, even if we're in person. They give you a call, they chat with you, they make sure that you know where to go, where the classroom is located. So they give you a little kind of tour through what you can expect, what kind of special reminders they want to make around coming in, like for instance, sign in at the office, sign in as you arrive, or in some schools, they prefer that we don't sign in, that we sign in the preschool classroom. So they'll give you those kinds of tips about starting. But this year, because we're starting remote, they will need to provide more information for you about how to get your Chromebook, how to access Seesaw, which is the tool that we use to communicate and to provide instruction and resources to our young children.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Excuse me, since now it's going to be remote, it's going to last the 2 hours or the hour and a half, or how long is the class going to be?
Right. This is not, we have not made a determination yet about the length of the time. Partly it will be probably be similar to last year. Tani, did you want to give some information about that? Because
I can kind of illustrate similar to what at least in my class we did last year. So what we did last year was we eased the kids into being online. So the first few sessions we did like a 20-30 minute live session with the whole group. And then for my group, what I did is I had about 15-minute time slots for each family to just do a get to know you, one-on-one talks with the kids. And we did that for about the first couple months. And then as time went on, we lengthened the whole group time by about 15 minutes. And we started doing small group activities. So I'd have half the class one day, half the class another day for another 10, 15. And then the rest of that time we were doing Seesaw activities that you would get information about before the class ended.
So it's not an hour and a half or 2 hours of screen time, continuous screen time. So, which I think is really healthy for young children, not to be in front of screens for that length of time. So the kinds of learning activities that the teachers would share would be all kinds of things, like how to play with measuring cups and spoons while you're helping cook with mom, or going and looking out the window and drawing a picture of something, or I mean lots of different things that did not require them to be using a Chromebook continuously. Anyone
Sorry,
else?
one more question, sorry. I also missed the beginning of a little bit from the beginning. You did mention this will start in the first week of October. Is it like certain people will start Monday? I mean, which days of the week and the timings?
So the schedule is actually on the district website. Let me see if I can pull that up and display it so you can see it. Right over here. All right. So I'm just going to show you on the school district website how you find the right place. Share my screen. All right. So here is the Edmonds School District website. And if you go into departments and you go to student learning, so you're going to go departments, student learning. There is a landing page for student learning, and it says early learning pre-K through 3, right? And you click that on the navigation bar. You see these are all of the different pre-K programs that we have in the Edmonds School District. We have Alderwood Early Childhood Center, which is our developmental pre-K, ECAP, which is our income-based pre-K program, and family pre-K. So if you click on Family Pre-K, there's a variety of ways that you can learn more about Family Pre-K, and one of them is the locations and schedules. There's also a little meet the Pre-K facilitators information and some other things here too. But if you click on that Pre-K locations and schedule, you'll see this. So this is our, we have planned for our Family Pre-K to meet on Monday and Thursday, or Tuesday and Friday. And we did that last year because Wednesday was the early release day in the district. So likely we will have to revise this now that the early release day in the district is Friday instead of Wednesday. So Monday and Wednesday instead of Thursday would be these 4 locations at these times. Tuesday and Thursday will be at these locations and at this time. And last year we were able to, because we were remote, we were able to put our 2 Meadowdale groups. We have a Meadowdale morning and an afternoon session together. So we may be able to do some things like that. But this will have to be updated before our Family Pre-K begins in October. But I have to work with the staff around that schedule. So we will be updating. But this is how you find this location and schedule page. And this is just what we have been planning for over the summer.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. I will stop.
How many kids do we expect in each class?
That is always dependent upon the space that we have available. So I think we are, Pam, at Chase Lake. Chase Lake is our smallest space. How many children do we allow in Chase Lake?
Well, normally 10, but with COVID, I think it's going to have to be more like 6 or so.
Right.
It's pretty
So
small.
it may be that when we work through with the staff, what we do is we say, okay, we're going to remotely, we're going to serve 10 students. And when we come back into in-person learning, we're going to do it at a hybrid. So one day 5 of the kids would come, another day 5 of the kids would come, different kids would come. So we have to work through that because we are not comfortable at this point, with that many adults in the classroom, in the spaces. So it will depend upon what happens in our community around spread of COVID. Anyone else?
Hi.
Hi.
Is there like arts and crafts activities we can pick up from school, or is the program has any
Yeah, that's a
anything
great question.
besides
That's a great question.
academically,
Yeah.
like a sensory thing, or yeah?
We last year we had I don't know how frequently did we do it. I think we did it at different intervals. It just depended. We had hands-on materials that you could pick up, and we scheduled those dates when you could drive up to the school and receive kind of like a learning kit for the next few weeks or months. And we tried to provide lots of different things. So some of our families like having, new Play-Doh is always wonderful, right?
Yes.
Or different kinds of paints, or different kinds of drawing instruments. but families also might want some other types of things. So we, and the pre-K facilitators, they like to give you things that you can use in your home. And the things that not only can you use in your home, but they can use when they're instructing your child at home. Yes, Miss Tawny.
Just getting ready for the beginning of the year. One of the things that we start out with is recycled items. So if you start seeing interesting recycling items come through your home, maybe it's a cold jar from Olives or something. Maybe if you have space, because I know we don't all have space all the time. If you have space, start storing those now, because we spent a lot of time talking about new and interesting ways to use things that are already in your home.
And we do, on all of our pre-K programs, we want to link the learning of the children to things that happen naturally in their environment. And so we want you to use things like, looking outside the window and making an observation of what you see. Playing games like I Spy or those types of games that you can play anywhere you go with your child. Or different ways that you can describe things in nature. So going on a nature walk and picking things up and describing them. What do you think this is? What do you think this does? And how can we make art with it? Or how can we make things to play with out of sticks that we find on our nature walk? So we try to be very naturalistic in how we encourage our families to work with their young children. All right. Well, thank you so much, families. It was so wonderful to see you tonight. I actually did make a recording of this session. And so it will be posted to the district's YouTube channel soon. And we will be able to have other families who were not able to attend tonight review this video for information as well. So thank you so much for attending. Really appreciate your evening and hope you have just a wonderful September as we're getting ready to start family pre-K. Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.